Is your newborn causing back pain? Is your newborn causing back pain? Hi, I'm William Fuller, certified massage therapist, wellness educator, and founder of Vision Body Mind. And many of my clients here in downtown San Francisco are used to having to spend many long hours hunched over a computer screen. And then all of a sudden, a newborn baby comes along and they're thrown into the throes of sleep deprivation, new learning, and then also their body is under this huge demand, rounding shoulders, rounding head forward, trying to either feed the lovely little newborn, or like with myself when I was getting chronic neck pain, that was from leaning over all the time, either through holding my daughter or through changing nappies, all of a sudden being kind of thrown into this forward head position at all time during the day, which just put too much strain, and in the end it kind of locked out and I got pain in through my neck and in through the back. So what I'm going to go through in this video is how I overcame that. And then what you can do, just some basically some simple awareness stuff that's going to help you cue into that yourself. So first things first, although the video is my newborn causing back pain, what I'd like to separate here is it's not the newborn that's causing the back pain, it's the biomechanics that you're addressing in that situation. So if you do get a chance to head over to any kind of breastfeeding training, or connect with a midwife or with a lactation consultant, just make sure that what you're talking about is good positioning, what feels comfortable for you, and not just comfortable for a short period of time, but what is comfortable over long periods of time. Because if you're breastfeeding, which you can check out the breastfeeding series that I've done here on my YouTube channel. But if you're not necessarily just breastfeeding, but also just kind of holding the baby, it's a case of how are you doing that, how are you holding the newborn, and how that could lead to back pain. But what I want to do is explain a little bit of the science behind this, so it's going to make a little bit more sense, and it's going to be easier for you to then address this when you have this at home. I just find that once it becomes common sense, it's so much easier. So imagine that this is muscle tissue that's running all the way up the back, like the erector spinae here. And you have to excuse me, I'm going to kind of turn my hand away. So imagine that this tissue is running all the way up in through here. Now, they're kind of postural tissue meant for any kind of like cobra positioning. When we contract up in through here, that's going to help do that movement, as well as kind of keep us in this upright position. So that's the job of it. Now, imagine if I hold this down here. And then imagine that I now lean forward. You can see how that stretches that tissue in through there. Now, maybe doing that once or twice, sure, that's fine. But what we're talking about here is we've already done this for several hours, for several days, since we were 6, sitting in front of a desk, and then also with a computer screen. But now all of a sudden we're kind of doing this holding a 10-pound weight, or like my daughter now, she was quite a big one, now she's moving up to 30 pounds. So you could imagine that that's putting a lot of strain in through this tissue here, and the tissue is trying to compensate for that. It's not, it doesn't hate you. It's trying to compensate for its usage. Function leads to structure. Please remember that. Function leads to structure. So if we're always putting this tissue under strain, eventually it's going to get inflamed, it's going to tighten, get those kind of lump feelings that you're getting. And for me, pain is a red flag. It's the body's way of saying, hey, can you start to pay attention to this? Because something needs to change in order for this pain to go away. So that's why some of you might go and get a massage and it feels great, but then it just comes back again after a couple of days. And where I do my postnatal massage, I find that with my clients. So that's why I've been forced into doing this education component for my new parents. Because if they miss that educational component, the tension's just going to come back straight back. And I do have a pretty high success rate with new parents coming back to me and being like, as soon as I address those very small biomechanical issues, the pain just went away, which is great. So what we're thinking about here is, are we rounding a little bit too much during the day? Can we think a little bit more about keeping the shoulders down and back? Feel the head pulling up, top of spine, as if the head is just sitting on top of the spine. And just be aware of how often are you doing this. Another thing I find is parents are like, well, that's great. You know, I'm stuck trying to breastfeed like this all day. How can I avoid doing that? And please, 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 I'm not trying to add any more stress to your day. In that situation, what I'm saying is, okay, if you're forced into this situation, you've tried doing pillows, you've tried being in good biomechanics in that situation, you've sought out some help from a lactation consultant or someone working like it with a midwife in helping you in that situation. At least think about when you're not doing those things, when you're not changing diapers. I'll make points with my baby here. When you're not changing diapers, when you're not breastfeeding, what are their situations? For example, that I hear a lot is like chopping vegetables, or just kind of leaning over if we're trying to sneak in, posting some cute pictures on Facebook of our newborn baby. Are we stuck in this kind of hunched forward position in through there that's creating that strain? Are we trying to sneak in a couple of hours work? When have we gone back to work? And then we're kind of still in this forward position. So there's a lot of room here to be a little bit more explorative about what could be causing this pain and checking out your biomechanics. Okay, great. Well, I said I'd keep this video short because I know you've got to run off for the rest of your day there. But please, please, please check out visionbodymind.com, where you're going to find a lot more free resources on how you can start working with this pain and discomfort and the causes of it. Because I do find a lot of the time, if you can just figure it out, it's just kind of common sense. So it just, once it's common sense, you just get it in the brain, and then it's not something that you stress about all the time. Is once we bring understanding to it, then it makes things so much more easier. I also think you should check out the free 5-day posture program, posture challenge that you can get on the Vision Body Mind website, which is like 5 short, less than 5 minute mini meditations that just kind of guides you through increasing awareness of the head. So that if you are in this kind of hunched over position, you're going to catch yourself that much quickly. You'll probably find that a lot of the time, the challenge here is you might be in that position for 5-10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, what's this pain in my neck? And it's the pain that's cueing you in to the head positioning. Whereas what we want to do now is we want your body awareness to cue you into what's going on. I'm not saying that's easy. Many of you are sleep deprived with just a few hours sleep during the day. I don't think that this is an easy thing, but that doesn't mean let's not work on it at all. The 5 mini meditations might also help you a little bit reduce some stress levels, especially when you're feeding, which is going to be nice. If you've just gone back to work and you have to pump, which needs a lot more work in itself. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But please head over to visionbodymind.com, click the link below. That's going to take you over there. Sign up for the free 5-day posture challenge. That's going to help improve your awareness. It's also going to help give you a few adjustments that's going to help there. Like I said before, it's very important that we do that, because I do find that this head positioning is part of that kind of domino effect. Once our head goes forward, then the shoulders come round, and then we start collapsing forward. All of a sudden we're looking at low back pain. So let's start with the head. Let's increase the awareness up in through here. If you found this information useful, please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel below. There's plenty more videos where this comes from. And if you think anyone else would find this information useful, you know anyone experienced any back pain who are breastfeeding, please, please, please send this information forward to them. They might find just a little nugget in here that's going to help them be pain-free in an already very challenging situation. You know, why make this stuff harder than it needs to be, especially when it doesn't have to be. All right, I'm going. So enjoy the rest of your day, and here's to living a happy, healthy, active life.